it's not putting God in your marriage. I knew I got married. I'm like, hey, we go to the church to get married and go to church to get married. But they don't even teach you how to put God in your marriage. But hey, y'all, everything in your life is like.
We are live. Yes, and we are talking about deep topics. We are hey, say hi, Malika. This is Malika Star. This is Miss Cassandra. You guys, then Trey Urban here. Oh my gosh, and of course there's my alarm. I don't know. I guess. Oh, you know what? It's almost time for our ambassador stuff. Hey, you guys. Look at the amazing ambassadors of the Sharon Ringo Foundation, and we're getting to have a meeting in 15 minutes. Okay, not me, girl, but okay, it's some of us. Oh, I'm so hot. Okay, so
we're having deep conversations about relationships and marriage and empowering ourselves and the things that we had to go through to get healed, and delivered and set free from the bondages that were holding us back. That's what we did. That's what we did.
Woo! And we took prelude to the number.
We have to learn how to think different. Changing of the mind. Reading a book will change your mind.
Change your mind. Matter of fact,
you have to look at things so different. I keep saying that, but it matters when we look at things in life differently than what we was taught to do. Because we all have learned behavior. And we learn by the behavior. See something, you do it something.
This is okay. So we all have met on Clubhouse and have known each other for months. And I've known Miss Malika for over a year now. And we've never met in person. And we finally got to meet in person at the Power to Soar event, hosted by Global Women Wealth Warriors. And we are leveling up. So you guys, that was last weekend. We got to recover. And now this weekend, we are sitting here taking notes. We're strategizing. We have the computer. We have our phones. Yeah. I built landing pages. Dig into Biz podcast is officially off and kicking. So if you guys want to come in and get interviewed, if you want to come and listen, it's going to be all about business because we are all entrepreneurs. We study the art of money and how to make it and how to attract it. And more importantly, how to be in purpose and service with it, right? Because we're all here on purpose and we know our purpose is to help others. So you guys, who are you collaborating with? Who are you connecting with? It is time for collaboration because there's more than enough. And when you connect with other people and create stuff, so you guys, guess what we're doing? Clubhouse, if you're not on Clubhouse, you need to get on Clubhouse because we're going to be housing rooms on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we're alternating Monday and Wednesday, and then Tuesday and Thursday, and Monday and Wednesday. But either way, Trey Urban, find Trey Talk on Clubhouse. Find Miss Malika Star on Clubhouse. Find Miss Cassandra Webb. Oh my gosh! Guess what? Author in the house. Do you see this? This is a real book. Look, a hold in your handbook, not just an ebook. It's a real freaking book by my queen. Right here, look at her gorgeous face. You can't see her from far away, but this is what she looks like, you guys. Yeah. This is what she looks like up close. So you want to get this book. We're going to be talking about how not only, okay, come back, Miss Malika Star. Guess what?
I'm sharing out the room.
Miss Malika Star is a publisher. You want to write a book? Do you want to get published? That's what we're going to be talking about. Miss Malika is going to get you where you need to be. I'm going to get it blown up on a landing page or a website. But most importantly, we're here to help you heal and ascend whatever's stopping or blocking you from believing in your greatness. Oh my gosh. We are here breaking traditions. We are breaking through limiting belief systems. We are evolving through so many things. So you guys, keep finding people who are like-minded, trustworthy people who pour back into you as much as you pour out, because I give big and I love hard. So trust and believe. You must be like-minded to be in my inner circle. And if not, I will love to help you heal so that you could potentially join me in this inner circle of high-vibing people, you guys. After this event, oh my gosh, we decided we are doing an event in April. Experience Elevated Entrepreneurs, Miss Malika Star and her What is it?
Molly Star.
Molly Star Publishing. Molly Star Publishing is going to be on Author Pal. She's going to be leveling up. So if you want to get published, it's time to go there. We're going to have what? Michael Lazier, the man who wrote What the Law of Attraction. He's going to be there. He's going to be doing a special 2-hour event, you guys. Oh my gosh, to kick off the whole elevated entrepreneur experience. So we are building landing pages. We're coordinating collaboration. Miss Malika Starr will be having a masterclass before the end of the year, you guys. I mean, before the end of next month, before the end of September. And Miss Cassandra is also going to be having a masterclass teaching you young hairstylists how to get the colors right, because it's time. We are teachers. We are facilitators, and we're ready to start teaching you guys how to level up. So you guys, I'm here to help you get to the money. If you're ready to make money doing what you love and have no idea how to do it, that's what I'm here to do. First, to help you heal whatever is stopping or blocking you from believing it's possible. And then we're going to help you get to the money. So thank you for joining us. We were deep in conversation. We look forward to seeing you guys on Clubhouse. Come and join us. Come and get the books. Come and get this. Many are asked, but few are married.
Many are asked to be married.
Yeah, many are asked to be married.
Wow.
There you go. I'm close.
Right.
Okay, there you go. I got it here. I got it.
So Miss Cassandra is actually going to be on the podcast. Trey and I will be hosting live podcasts, interviewing the authors that are coming through Molly Star Publishing. Right now we have 10 on board that we will be doing once a week. We'll be coming on. I'll have all that marketing material out by this week, sometime this week. You guys know that I am the author of Now That I Know Better, but I'm also the founder of, hey, that's my girl, Kiana Hunt is online. Hey, Kiki. Hi, Michael. Yes. I'll be on teaching how to publish your books, but I will also be showcasing all the authors that have come through Molly Star Publishing. And we've got some great authors on deck, including Kevin Harris, Daryl Peoples, Daryl Ellis, Eldora Watkins, Sherry Rankins, who her video, guys, went viral. It has over 2.2 million followers. Yes. A simple video of somebody eating her cake, eating one of her cakes offline, and it's blown her business up. And she's in her 60s. So it's not ever too late to get started. You never know when God is going to touch your life and touch your business. I see with Kiana Hunt online, I'm going to give my girl a shout out. She is a makeup artist extraordinaire. She has her own lash bar in Rockville, Maryland. So she knows how to carefully put lashes on your eyes. Please make sure you're following her. But I always like to do that. I like to give shout outs for those people that support me in the universe. I always like to give them a shout out as well. Trey Urban has always been supportive. She allowed me to be on her podcast twice. And I was so excited to be able to reach out to her audience and broaden my audience. And so that's what we want to do. We believe that collaboration is acceleration. The Bible says, yes, with 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there sure can be also. But it also says 1 can chase 1,000, but 2 together can chase 10,000. Right. So just think about when you united forces and you're a 3-strand cord, what happens? It's one that cannot be broken. We know that for sure. So we are here in the kitchen. We have some loves here. I got my apron on.
We just ate good. Oh my gosh.
Real good. I showed my girls some there.
Oh, good.
From Maryland, by way of New Jersey. Yeah. So, but we are having a good time with fellowshipping. Cassandra's book is Many Are Asked to Be Married, Few Become Wives. Yeah, many are asked to be married, but
few become wise.
And why did you name it that book title?
Why did I name it that book? Because, I've dealt with a lot of young women, period, because I'm a hairstylist. But I saw someone snatch their hands from their husband on national television, doing it on narration, and it kind of pierced my soul. And by me being married and not knowing before I got married what it was all about, because I never asked God to let me get married. I asked God to make me a wife. And God told me I was not wife material.
Oh, wait, stop right there. Stop right there.
So it was a journey.
What? So
Truth hurts.
Wait, truth. Right, like that end, like, because it was like, are you really what it takes to be a wife? Right? Because a lot of women get married because they want the man
For
to
the
take care of them.
wrong reason.
Right. Oh, my man, he brought me a house, he brought me a car, he paid my bills.
I love him. I want to marry him.
Oh, and he's gonna make me happy.
Oh, yes, he's gonna make me happy. Oh, wait a minute. No, mine was, if I love him, he's gonna love me. Yes!
Girl.
That was mine.
Yes, that was the first one.
I tell y'all this, I didn't even love mine. I loved before, and I ended with a heartache. So I didn't go in loving my husband. I liked him because he made me laugh. When I spoke and when we talked, he listened to me. And those things were so important to me. But I can tell anybody that get married, you don't know a person even till the day you marry him. You still don't know him, and you can be married to him for years. So it's amazing. But I can tell you this: put God first.
Put God first, honey. Let me tell you something.
And you'll be
You
protected.
need God when you're in any kind of relationship, because God is the one who protects you. He gives you discernment.
Yes.
He gives you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your relationship between you and God gives you all the clarity and insight you need to move forward in a good way.
And power.
Yes.
Yes, and yes, because you have the confidence, because you know. And the more you test it, because I had to test it, I didn't believe it. Right? I had to make a test, and I was like, okay, God, if you're blah blah blah, show me this by then. You better have this happen by, because I'm like that.
And
And
then be like bam, 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 like
yep, and then once you practice that a while, then you trust it, and then the more you trust it, the more you're like,
man.
all right, God, here we go.
But God showed me that it was me. It's because we all go into a relationship wanting to be married, but we never asked God to make us a wife. And, I'm one of those rebels.
Yes.
People, I'm like, okay, I want something different. Then make me a wife. And the first day after saying I do, ooh, baby, that dude howling at me, baby.
You're like, I don't know what kind of can of worms I opened up.
And then I looked at God, I'm like, really? He never hollered. We've dated for years. He never hollered at me.
See?
And
That's
I'm like,
my husband. He dated me for 10 years. And then we got married, and then all of a sudden, he became like a switch, like
That's what
I was glad mine in charge because I would have ended with the divorce, but I didn't talk for 4 years. Doing that, we were going our way to Huntsville, 2 hours on the plane, and an hour and a half going to our destination. I ain't had nothing to say because I was in deep prayer. I said, listen here, God, if don't nobody else know me, you know me, Lord, because I ain't no toy wrestler. I'd rather kill somebody and go to jail. That's foolish. That's foolish. No. So guess what? I wrote my book and I put God first. And it was not pretty, but it wasn't bad either. Because guess what? It's 23 years and we're still married.
And you're friends.
And we're friends. Still friends.
Yeah, and you know what's bad? The bad thing would have been staying in the pain and misery of battling with something in that way.
I can't do that.
That is so, yes.
Oh, when I realized, not that one day I asked God, I said, don't you hear me praying?
I know, that's what I'd be like, hello.
But you know what? The other person has to be receptive, right? So that other person has to be open and willing for God to change them. I know who I married, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had to say to myself, you know what? I thought I could change him. I thought my love was strong enough to because they say
love and
wife sanctification, so shall the husband be sanctified.
Yeah.
But the husband gotta want to be sanctified.
Right.
By God. by God,
but we make the mistake thinking like, okay, if I go to church, you're gonna go to church with me, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that together.
Mine used to drop me off and go sit in the car.
Mine had been to church since we got married.
Mine didn't even drop me off. He just stood at home and he'd say, see you whenever you come home.
All right. Mine did, I mean, he had been.
I went to marriage retreats by myself. I prayed for Jesus and God said, let there be a divorce. And I said, amen.
Amen.
It took me 33 years of being a hardhead, but it's all right.
But you know,
I mean it though, because I'm freaking loyal.
but you know what?
Yeah.
God says, don't throw your pearls before the swine. You know what I mean?
And I have to always make sure I've tried everything.
And you've got it. I made sure I exhausted all.
I always make sure I do exactly what I'm supposed to do as a wife.
Mhm.
Right.
I did because I'm okay, God, make me wife material. I can't do it. God showed me how to be the wife. And I can truly say that my mother was truly a virtuous woman. So I had a good example.
I didn't.
But I had a very good example. But the thing was, he was just not a good husband to her.
Yeah.
And so I saw what I didn't want. And I couldn't go in my marriage trying to fix him to be something that he wasn't, comparing him to my father.
Right.
So I'm like, so I had to allow him to be the man that he was. And I thank God he was truly a great man. But I was not wife to worry about that. God had to work on me.
What copy that shirt?
God had to work on me. God had to truly work on
But see, that's good because you did the work on your inner side. A lot of times we like to blame the spouse. You know,
Yeah,
it's like their fault. It's all their fault. It's all their fault. It's all their fault. And I had to start accepting responsibility for the mess I got myself into. Because I didn't have to do that.
We do this. I read a book. I read a
Instead
book
of this year.
Right. I read a
We're
book.
over here this year.
Right. And that book said, look how many things
Things
are
are pointing back.
You remember reading that book and
I heard it in the sermon. So
yeah, so I'm like, and that what really made me think about it. And so I was very careful going into my marriage to my husband that God had for me, that I thought was gonna be perfect. I thought it was
I think we should. I will never read my daughter a fairy tale story anymore because we all believed in the happily ever after and the knight in shining armor.
Yeah.
And he's gonna come and rescue me from the big bad wolf of life.
You don't marry the big bad wolf.
We're not a married big bad wolf. Right. And it was, and I don't want to speak ill of him because, you know, every time no, because I realize everybody has.
My husband be big bad wolf too, because he got his issue.
Right,
But I had to pray.
He got issues and I got issues, and we married our issues together, and it's like getting along with each other, right? Because I married my husband's issues, you know what I mean? But he married my insecurities, my fears, my low self-esteem, right. He
like attracts like.
Right.
In the end, like attracts. They might not be the exact same pains, but either way, the pain level or the damage level is the same.
Right.
It's equal.
Right. We merge traumas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stop merging traumas and heal them. Get the book, you guys. We're gonna get back into our conversation and let you finish your night. So thank you for hopping on. We're so grateful. Yes. Oh, hi, Jody. That's Jody. She's one of my I met her from Clapper. Oh my gosh, and she's such a so we're gonna get ready to do another collaboration. She reached out to me this morning.
Wow. So is Johnny coming in April?
Girl, I haven't even told her about it.
Oh, we didn't
Our big event, April next year. Yes.
Save the date. April
5th through the 7th of 2024. You guys be ready.
And we're coming
to Elevate. We're going to Maryland in the DMV area. Woo! We are going
coming home, y'all.
Come experience elevatedentrepreneurs.com. Experience elevated entrepreneurs, as in multiple of us.com.
Yeah. And the people, can I say something? The people that we attracted, or the people that
continue to attract,
that we continue to attract. But Trey and Shantae have really gone out of their way to make sure they're bringing the best and the brightest, those who've really elevated, those who have hit that 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure status. I mean, we can't even count how many law of attraction books have been.
Over 4 million. Over 4 million copies. He's gonna be there. Malika's gonna be there.
But I can't wait till now that I know better sells
4 million copies.
Yeah.
Yes, because let me tell you something.
I am gonna sell.
God is not, no, he's not a respect of persons. And he knows if you have a dream inside of you, he gave you that dream, right? And then he will, if you allow him to, he will birth that dream. And I'll be back on at 9 o'clock for my Nothing But the Truth on my Facebook page, as I always do every Sunday. And I'll talk more about the birthing process, because it was spoke over to me today by Bishop Kent Branch that the new chapter is starting. And sometimes we get afraid when there's a shifting. Cassandra was talking about the shift in her career from going as a 23-year cosmetologist into now shifting into books and getting into chefdom. She's a chef. Also, she's got multiple talents, and she's surrendered them to God because he's given us these talents for a reason. He wants us to be blessed and prosperous. He wants us to be the head. He wants us to be the lender. He wants us to be blessing our field, blessing our basket, because that's his words. Those are his promises to us. And anything that doesn't line up with those promises, we got to chin check. We got to get correct. We've got to heal. You know, one of the things I wish I would have done before I got married is that I took some time for healing, and that I gave the person that I was being with at that time a chance to really heal. But you know, anything born of the flesh, that's what the Lord said, anything born of the flesh most certainly die. And I must admit that I was in
like passion and lust, it don't last.
I was in my flesh.
The lust don't last.
But the beautiful thing is we created some amazing human beings, and they are his legacy, and they are my legacy, and they're going to go out and do some amazing things in the universe. And so all things work together for our good in the end. All of it.
All of it.
Now that I know better, it's a lesson learned so that it all works together for good and for the good of those that are called according to the Lord's purposes. You got to know that relationship with your greatest power, your highest power. As for me and my house, we serve and worship the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't dictate to you who you should serve, because I don't have the right to judge anybody. Right. But what I say is, this is what works for me. And if you want to ask my advice and my opinion of what works for me, is when I surrendered my life to the Lord and he took over. When I got the help, I didn't just shout and dance around. I just remember I was just talking and trading. We were just having a conversation, and she was saying, I help people in 12-step recovery. And I was like, I did Celebrate Recovery. She's a Celebrate Recovery leader too. And see, life attracts life.
Yeah.
And so, and I went through Celebrate Recovery, I went through counseling, and I did the press. And of course, I did the 365 Days of Gratitude with Dr. Yolanda Peoples. And so I did the work, and I did the homework. And then I saw the results of that, the grace, the peace, the understanding, and then the finances started to show up. And then when the finances started to disappear, I started to say, okay, Lord, what are we doing? There's a shift happening, and God is saying, where you reached from before, you will no longer reach from there. You've got another field over here. And so I'm like, okay, God, where's the next field? And so you'll start seeing I'm branding, I'm collaborating with people who really want to see you win, because that's what it's in my heart to do. When Cassandra wins, I win. When Trey wins, I win. When I win, they win. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have that idea and that mindset when you come into collaboration space. It's not, oh, she's trying to get something from me. Or
I don't want to give you part of my money. No.
Right. It's an investment in self. And whatever you do for others, God will most certainly do for you. When you sow into other people's events, guess what? God's going to bless you somewhere down the line. He's going to multiply it. I'm reading The Power of Getting Rich by Joseph Murphy. And he said this. He said, when you sow so happily,
Yes.
so joyously,
Yep.
he said, and then it will come back to you multiplied.
Yep. And you know, he also wrote The Power of the Subconscious
The
Mind.
power, I have both
That's
of
one
those
of the books.
and the power to get rich.
Y'all need to walk again.
Yes.
The Power of the Subconscious Mind.
Because you went from
And-
paralysis. Talk about that. You went
And
from
it's all
paralysis
about the
to
mind.
dancing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now dancing this weekend. And I wore heels too, but not at the event, but at that time. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And the reality is whatever your mind decides, that's what's going to happen. So, and it's not that God doesn't love you, but God gave us the free will. So just so you know, that's the free will we got, is to make the decisions in our mind. So when you decide that you want something or don't want something, or that's all you can have or will have, that's what you will have. And if you decide that your body's always healing until all the muscles are working, 13 years later, I'm in heels. 13 years of unwavering faith. How many of you guys,
The doctors told me I would never walk.
after they told me I'd be in a wheelchair, how many of you guys believe what other people say about you? But more importantly, how much time are you willing to invest until you see the results? I waited 13 years. Some of you guys won't even wait after
13
trying
months.
2 times. 13 days. Shoot, some people won't even last 13 days on, eating healthy or exercising or what, leveling up your life or praying or becoming, meditating or focusing, healing yourself. No. So trust me, the mind, the
mind.
power.
Your mind.
Joseph Murray
My
wrote
grandma.
these things in 1916 is when he was writing these books. So this isn't new.
So
It's
books transcend.
always
That's the
been there.
importance of books, and that's why I became. That's
Over 100 years later, we are reading
Right.
the book,
The same book.
the same
book
book.
will change your mind. You read somebody else's story, it would definitely change your mind, your view on life. Period.
This is why you need to write your book. You need to get with Miss Malika, because
Yeah.
100 years later, do you want somebody going, oh yeah, Trey Urban's story. Oh yeah, Miss Malika's story. Miss
But do you
Cassandra.
know,
This book, I found it.
we
I
found
know.
writings from my great grandfather. Like he
See?
was part of a collaborative book for the Southern Baptist.
See, they've been doing collaborative books for years, you guys.
In like the 1800s, because my great grandfather was one of the founders of Morris Brown University. So me coming to Georgia is like me coming back home to the birthplace of my grandmother. It's generations. My great grandparents were here. They were brought here to, their legacy was brought here to Georgia. So they probably came in from Savannah and they came in over on my mother's side of the family. So I felt like, to my mom, I said, do you feel like our ancestors pulled us back to where it all originated, since we were born and raised in New Jersey? And then we migrated back to Georgia. So it was almost like a reverse of the generations.
It's like you came back here to heal, though, the generations. You've gone full circle.
Wow.
Yeah,
Isn't that amazing?
I know, I'm sitting here watching this show. Yeah, it's like, no, you've gone full circle. That's right. And you feel like that too. And some part of you feels like you're healing generations. Like there's a reason why you had to come back here, and everything is so rooted here. And even though you weren't here, I feel like you have roots here. Like you were, yes, and some deep, it's like grandma's house or something. That's why. Because you came here to close the circle of your generational healing, which is why there's this huge rebirth of so much, not just your life, but generationally.
Right. One of my friends asked me, she said, you coming back to Maryland? I was like, to visit? You know? I mean, because I have so many people that I love, and so many
love it out here.
people that
Trust me, I'm sad if I have
how to love. There's so many people in Maryland who rescued me, who showed me what real love looked like. And so I can never not give up that space.
Yeah.
So Maryland will always be my second home. I got 3 homes. From New Jersey, I moved to Maryland. I lived there for 23 years. I met some amazing people, some amazing friends. My grandchild is still there. My 2 sons still live there. My god sister is there. So I still have family there in the DMV. And so I will go back frequently. And when I met Michael, he was like, I said, well, I live in Maryland. He was living in Georgia at the time. And I said, look, I said, I don't want to leave my church, right? Because my church family, everybody know I love the church, right? And so he said, don't worry, you're going to be so rich, you'll be able to fly back and forth and go home when you want to. I said, from your lips to God's ears, let's make that manifest right in your life, our God. So God sent me somebody who really supports my efforts. If that's right, you know, if I'm writing a book, he's all good, giving me a list of everybody I should send my book to. He sent me clients.
Like to have support.
You know, he's been very supportive. He's been a friend. He's a mentor.
Yes.
You know, and I try my best not to take it for granted. You know, and sometimes I gotta get out of my own way, if I must be honest. But I love what he's done in my life to show me a different way. You know what I mean? But he always speaks. He calls me. My nickname is Big Money. You know what I mean? But I said, but he's like, yes. At first, you know, I used to be like, no, I ain't got no money. I'm just a humble soul. But no, like, no, I ain't saying it that way no more.
Like you spoke to me yesterday, yesterday. Thank you so much because I'm receiving everything that you said. I'm gonna be okay. I think God is gonna bless me. And I received all of it. So no,
We just declare what you want. Okay, you guys, we're gonna let you go because we're gonna keep talking and we'll keep you, but I don't know, my phone's gonna probably get low. So I love you guys. Thanks for hopping on, Joy.
I'll be back at 9 o'clock, y'all.
You guys get on Clubhouse. We're gonna be on there Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Come and look for Trey Urban, Malika Star Carey, and Cassandra. Love, hugs, and kisses.
Bye.
that was cool. You know what? Listen, y'all, my you know, young folks crazy. Y'all know that, right?